with SiqScene News, and this is our interview with Life as a Ghost. Each of you, it's right directly, okay. Each of you should tell us what you do and your name. Pass that around.
Well, I'm Evan, and I play bass.
I'm Ray, and I play drums.
I'm Jerry, and I look good.
I'm Nick, I almost look as good, and I sing.
I'm Nick, and I look the best.
Fuck you.
And play guitar.
And it's true. Why don't we hold it?
What's your history as a band?
We started in 2011, late 2010. Me and this kid started the band, and that was pretty much it. We wrote a couple songs and kind of drafted some people, and things happened. And then, Nick, I see you want to talk. Go ahead.
We've always kind of had a vision of being a darker band, having like a darker image, and kind of following through with darker lyrics, darker sounds and stuff. So that's kind of what this band was built upon.
You know, we wanted to be a black metal band, but we realized that coats paint.
Yeah. Hey, hold on to it.
All right. Well, what's the inspiration of your band name?
I think it's open to interpretation. We usually tell people that they can make whatever they want of it. I know, I guess for me, life as a ghost is living a life where you're not noticed and fighting against that. I don't know if anyone has.
Yeah. I think, like you said, it really is open for interpretation. Basically, all of us were pretty much in bands before this, and we came together, and it was like, I feel like we're all somewhat living our old lives, but together. And it's weird kind of how it worked out. I don't remember exactly what or how. It's just one of those things that when he came up with the name, and it was like, wow, this really makes sense, because we were all in bands before this, and we all basically existed around other people and didn't get the, I guess, I don't want to say recognition, but we didn't
live to our potentials.
Yeah, we didn't live to our potentials, so we were essentially living life like ghosts.
What do you think makes you unique in a world where the music industry is so oversaturated with bands doing the same thing?
I'm gonna go that one. I'm gonna go that one.
We play a few breakdowns per song, and I feel like that really pushes us out of what everyone else is doing. In all reality, though, a lot of our songs deal with mostly, like, as far as lyrics are concerned, we deal with like a lot of like personal issues dealing within, like, mostly this guy obviously, but like things relating to the bands, like Life as a Ghost, like, and our record Drifter comes from the concept of being a drifter, going through life kind of as a ghost, not really knowing your place, drifting from here to there and trying to find your place in this world.
I think what we do that maybe would set us apart from other bands is we actually, as a band name and everything in general, we tell a story. It's not just like we get up on stage and we play a song that has no meaning. Like, everything we do up on stage literally has meaning. Every single thing that we do, every motion that we have, it's really from the heart. And I think that's what bands lack today. They lack emotion. They lack reality, you know?
There's an assload of bands that are out there nowadays, and they're just kind of like, you know, like, everybody has a passion, you know what I mean? There's tons of musicians out there who care and give a shit, and like, there's a lot of musicians who go about it the wrong way. They kind of just make music, or they hire a producer to write music for them, and there's no inspiration behind it. You know what I mean? Like, you're playing someone else's art. You're living someone else's vision, and that's not what we're about at all. We want to do what we want to do, and, you know, like, we're happy with what we do, and it's not about getting anywhere mega huge. You know, we care about our music, and that's all we really give a fuck about.
Yeah, that's the realest part, is the fact that we're in this for us and everybody who can appreciate music for what it really is and the passion behind it.
We love you guys and stuff, whoever you guys are.
What's the craziest show you've ever had to do?
Well, we played in New Jersey once in a room that was 120 degrees. That was fun. And ever since then, no room we've ever played has been hot. Ever. Even this room.
That wasn't probably not the craziest, but
That was pretty crazy.
Oh, dude, I got it. We played this show in North Carolina at this shithole venue that was amazing, actually. Yeah, it's called the Milestone. It was awesome. It looked like the dirtiest place I've ever seen in my life. Evan was fucking tanked beyond and swearing he wasn't drunk. Nick had to go to the store. He had a major headache. He was going to get some medicine, and the car he was in ran out of gas. And it was literally nearing like 11:30 at night, and we thought kids were gonna start clearing out. And it took Nick, we went on like a half hour late, and it might have been the craziest set I've ever, I was putting cigarettes out of my tongue. There was drunk kids throwing beer in my face. I was bleeding. Evan was out of tune. It was great.
We were all so angry too, so I think that definitely had something to do with why we played so fucking good. But I don't know, it was definitely fun. I mean, we also played a sold-out show at Irving Plaza, and that was like one of like a dream, I guess a dream that we've all had. I don't know, whatever. That was great.
Since we like to focus on giving local bands more exposure, who's your favorite local bands?
They actually played today. I think my favorite local band right now is the Merciless Concept. I mean, they play death metal. They're heavy as all hell, but I think they bring like a unique like style to death metal, and that's why I dig them.
I got a lot, but favorite?
Yeah.
Crap.
First one that comes to mind.
Because they played today, Towers, who are from Albany. It's not local to here, but they're just breaking out of the Albany scene, and they're just heavy as Godzilla's testicles. They're amazing.
I would honestly have to say that my favorite local band is Fall the Albatross. That's a band that I've known those kids for fucking years. Like, I've known them for so long. I watched them all grow as musicians, and like, I've never seen a band like this. There's a band that plays at a fucking caliber that I've never seen in my life, and they remind me of everything I loved growing up as a musician, and bands that I love, like Between the Buried and Me and Glassjaw and Into the Mode, all rolled into one, and that's incredible. You don't really get that anymore, and they're so real about it. So I would, definitely have to say Follow the Albatross, and they play tonight too. Cool.
One of my favorites is Palmyra. They're good friends of ours. They're very, very dedicated to their music. They love playing every second. They, when I watch them, their guitar player is actually the reason I started playing guitar. So seeing him play, he fucking shreds, and it just makes my head hurt. And they're one of my favorite local bands. Probably one of my favorite bands in that genre. They're pretty heavy, pretty technical, so sweet watching them.
One of my favorite, I guess you can call them local because they're from the area. They're from like New York City and Queens, the Bronx. Even though we're from Long Island, there's a band called My Arcadia. They are like, I don't want to say they're underrated, but so many people don't know about them, and they need to be known. They're one of those bands that, even for all the kids who do know about them, there's so many people that don't. They're just a talented pop rock band that they're awesome. They put so much heart and emotion into everything they do, and I have so much respect for them, and they're good friends of mine and ours, and that's probably my favorite local band.
How would you describe your sound to someone who has never heard it before, and what made you choose it?
Yeah, there you go.
So, Madonna was walking down the road, not any specific road, and she met Wiz Khalifa in a time lapse. They had sex, had a miscarriage. That miscarriage developed into, I guess, something that looks like Fergie. If that something that looks like Fergie opened its mouth, it would not sound like us. Yeah. What I would tell people we sound like is, I guess, like, I'm not even going to try to answer this one any more than that.
I feel like we're, I guess, I don't know, we really try to do like we're heavy-ish, but we still try to keep like a whole post-rock feel. You know, we have a lot of influences like a lot of old, even screamo bands and heavier bands. I mean, if you look at the sticker on our record, it says for fans of O Sleeper, Memphis Mayfire, and Oceana. Yeah. So that's pretty much that's what I would say.
Kind of sum it up a little bit.
Jared will sum it up for you.
I mean, like, the thing is, we're all musicians from various realms of heavy music, you know what I mean? Like, we all come from somewhere, so we kind of try to use all that as an influence, and it's really hard to say who we sound like, or because our goal isn't to really sound like anybody. Our goal is to be us, and
Yeah.
that's what we want to do. And you know, there's tons of bands that we take influence from, for sure, but can't really pinpoint it, honestly. Like, I don't know. I can't pick one, for sure.
Yeah.
I like you. You.
You got something?
That's something when people ask me like what we sound like, I'm just listen to us, because we don't try and like model ourselves after any band. Like, we don't sit down and we're like, oh, like this riff is cool, like let's write a riff like this. We just sit down and we're just like, here's what I have, and we're gonna fucking write it, and if kids don't like it, they don't like it. If they like it, they do. We're just 5 regular dudes sitting in a disgusting basement writing music, and that's where you get Life as a Ghost from, I guess.
So my phone died, and it had all the questions, so I'm remembering the few that were left. What's it like touring, going without your family for a certain amount of time?
I mean, being that like I've been probably touring the least amount out of everybody, first couple of tours, it's definitely a little bit like difficult to deal with, but after a while you kind of just get used to it. I always say, like, for every like 2 weeks that we're not home, I need 1 day at home to recoup, and then I just want to get out again.
Yeah. I mean, touring's not for everybody. It's really hard. You have to be willing to like eat dollar store food or food that people like make for you, like Chef Boyardee pasta every day, and sleep in a Walmart parking lot, not shower for weeks.
You sleep yourself. I shower.
All right, fine. I shower
Sometimes.
But you know, if you really love it, it's awesome, and nothing for me beats watching like the countryside roll by and get to meet new people every day and see new places every day. And in terms of family, like, thankfully they're really understanding of the situation. It's always hard being away from them, but thankfully with like new technology, with Skype and FaceTime and stuff like that, you can still stay connected. It sucks, but you know, they are gracious enough to understand that this is what we love to do, and we love doing it, so we're not going to stop.
It's 5%.
What did I say?
Too much. Kidding. A little bit. It's fine. For me, touring, I love it. It's all I've wanted to do my whole life. It's all I think about. It's all I ever want to do. I hate being home. I love my family. Don't get me wrong. They're everything to me. If I didn't have the family that I have, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't have, you know, what I have today. Not that I have much. Like, I don't have shit to come home to. So for me, getting in a van is as much home as being home. You know what I mean? Like, these 5 gentlemen, if that's a word I could use, they're gay. These 5 very homosexual males.
Thank you.
They're all the family that I need, and that's all I really care about being around ever. I like it. It's fun.
I'll sum it up. It sucks. It's a love-hate relationship. Honestly, I've toured a lot before this band, and I have a little one at home, and it's horrible leaving her, but I can say with these 4 guys around me, they're like the most support I could ever ask for. They're the most understanding ever. Get off of my dick already. But on a serious note, to sum it up, like, it's difficult for me because I got a little one at home and things are hard, but I have an awesome support group, and I've never had that ever, and it's awesome to have friends like this to be able to tour with, to keep my head on straight.
Touring is amazing. It's all I've ever wanted to do since I was probably about 10, 11 years old. loved music my whole life, and now playing it to people across the country is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. It's all about keeping yourself busy because there's a lot of downtime. We only play for about a half hour a day, and the rest of that's kind of just keeping yourself busy, because if you're sitting in the van just thinking, you start to miss people at home. You miss your girlfriend, you miss your parents, your sisters, your friends, and it's tough. But you know what? As I think Evan said, there's that technology at home to keep you updated with them. So I find myself texting everyone back home all the time, but you know what? They know this is what I want to do, and they're all supportive, so I can't thank anyone more than I can thank these guys and everyone at home for that.
And last but not least, if you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
I'd be a cat because I'm a gigantic pussy.
Really? I really have no response. I was gonna say I'd be a bat because bats are cool, but that wins.
Apparently Ray's too loud.
Also, and because cute girls love cats, and I'm single, so that's why I want to be a cat, ladies.
If I wanted to be any animal, I'd be a fucking sugar glider because they're fucking rad.
Sick.
And they hang and poop at the same time. It's sick. I always wanted to just hang and take a shit and then fly off or something. Like, that's awesome. Like, can you imagine what it's like to just drop a deuce on someone and just like psh, and just take off and then be adorable at the same time? Like, it's great. That's a life.
I think if I could be any animal, realistically, I would probably be a penguin, just because they just waddle around and mind their own business. But in actuality,
He would be a penguin because penguins are helpless romantics, and they dedicate themselves to one and only one lady. And ladies, he's single and beautiful, and he's looking for that one lady. He likes walks on the beach, and he took that.
but in reality, if you ask me what animal I would turn into if I had a second life, it would be a seagull.
Or an
Because
animal.
everybody hates seagulls, but you're like, oh, that fucking seagull, don't shit on me, don't shit on me, don't shit on me. And they're always looking out for seagulls. So I would be a fucking seagull. And because I'm an asshole.
How do I follow that up? I was gonna say I want to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but since asshole decided that it's only reality, I guess I'd be a panther.
Be a what?
Panther.
Would you be a steel?
All right, well, thank you guys.
Where life is a ghost. Is your scene sick?